Now that we have Tails installed and configured as you want it, in this section and the next sections, I'm going to show you how to use it in order to carry out whatever task you want in a more private and more anonymous manner. Because the services that you're used to use, for example, Google, Gmail, Bing, and so on, are simply not private. They track you, they profile you, and so on. Therefore, if you really want to protect your privacy, you will literally have to change the way that you use the internet. So, in this section and the next sections, I'm going to show you how to use private search engines to search for contents and search for websites on both on the ClearNet and on the darknet. I'm going to show you how to communicate in a more private and secure manner. So I'm going to show you how to use private email providers, again, both on the Clear and on the darknet. You're going to learn how to communicate privately using end-to-end encryption and using different programs and different protocols than what you're used to. I'm going to show you how to privately share sensitive files. We're going to have a full section on encryption to learn how to properly encrypt any form of data, whether it's text, a document, a file, how to decrypt this data, and how to sign it and verify integrity. And finally, we'll also have a full section on cryptocurrencies, because as we know, the normal money that we use in everyday life is highly traceable, and if you use it, you're definitely not going to be private. Therefore, I'm going to teach you what cryptocurrency is. We're going to cover different types of cryptocurrencies and how to handle it, again, in a private and anonymous manner. All of this is going to be divided into a number of subsections, each covering one of these main topics. And then within each one of these subsections, we're going to break this topic and discuss it in more details. Right, so now that we have everything installed and configured, we know which browsers to use, and we are connected to the Tor network, it's time to go ahead and actually start browsing the DeepNet and Onion services. Now, if you think of it, we've been using the internet for a while and we take it for granted. So usually when you turn on your computer, you open your web browser and then you start going to your favorite websites because we already know these websites and we know their domain names. When it comes to the DeepNet though, things are slightly different. First, because we are still new to this, so you don't really know many websites, you can't directly go to websites. This will change over time if you start using it for a while. Obviously, you will have favorite websites and you'll know them and you'll be going directly to them. Not only that, but we're also used to using Google and other search engines to search for websites that are interesting to us. Unfortunately, Google and most search engines do not index Onion services. So if you search for a certain topic, and if there are Onion services or Onion websites that cover this topic, Google or these other search engines will not show it to you because they ignore these websites. Therefore, in this lecture, I want to show you some entry points to Tor hidden services or Onion services. What I mean by entry points is websites that we can use to discover other websites or to get to other websites or to other Onion services. Even though we're using the DeepNet, which is, like I said, slightly different than the ClearNet or the internet that you use all the time, the idea of finding websites is very similar. The easiest method is using search engines. So I'm going to cover a number of search engines in here. And the second method is using directories or websites that will list other websites. So starting with search engines and starting with the simplest one, we're going to go to duckduckgo.com. Now this is a ClearNet website. You can access this website without using the Tor browser. And using this search engine, you can search for websites on both on the ClearNet and search for Tor hidden services or Onion services. Now, the cool thing about DuckDuckGo is the fact that it does not collect any data about the users, unlike Google and other search engines, and it does not show targeted ads. So it's more private than other search engines, and like I said, we can use it to discover Tor hidden services. Now, the way I accessed it right now is using the ClearNet domain name, duckduckgo.com, but you can also access it using an Onion service link, which I have right here. Now we know this is a hidden service because, as you can see, the link ends with a .onion. So any website that ends with a .onion, it means this is an Onion or a Tor hidden service that can only be accessed from within the Tor network, and therefore it's considered as a darknet website. So even if you go and copy this link and paste it in a normal web browser such as Firefox or Chrome, the website will not load because that browser is not connected to the Tor network. Therefore, you can only access these websites from the Tor browser or from Tails, because as we know, Tails automatically routes all traffic through the Tor network. Don't worry, I'll include this in the resources of this lecture. So if I just paste this in here in my URL bar, this will take slightly longer because we're accessing it through the Tor network, but as you can see, we got to the same page. Using the page is going to be the same, and we're going to be getting the same functionality from the page. The only difference is when you access a website using its ClearNet domain name, we're going to first of all go through the Tor network because we're using the Tor browser, and then we're going to exit the network. And like I said, the traffic sent in here will not benefit from the privacy that Tor offers, so it won't be encrypted unless HTTPS is used, and then this traffic will go to the target website. But when you access the Onion service link, which is what I accessed right now, right here, we will never leave the Tor network. So we'll be going through the Tor network again, but we will never leave the Tor network. The last node will contain the Onion service that we requested, and therefore we will fully benefit from the privacy that Tor offers. Now, once you are in the search engine, as you can see, using it is very simple and intuitive. All you have to do is just type the website that you're looking for or the topic that you're looking for. Like I said, we can use DuckDuckGo to search for both ClearNet and Onion hidden services. So for example, if I wanted to go to a ClearNet website, I can look for Z-Security. And as you can see, we got accurate results for Z-Security. The first link will actually take you to my website. And if we wanted to search for an Onion service, for example, I want to search for another search engine, and this one is called Not Evil. So I'm going to type Not Evil search engine. And maybe I'll add Onion to the search query. And as you can see, the first result is actually the correct Onion link to this Onion hidden service. I already have it in here as well. So we can just copy it and paste it here. Or you can copy it from here. Just make sure you remove the .to from the end. I like copy pasting links instead of clicking them because sometimes when you click on a link, you don't really know where this is gonna go because the text that you see here is not always what the browser loads. Therefore, even if you see a link like this, it's best to copy it, open a new tab or open it in the same tab as you wish, but make sure you copy and then paste the link. That way you're sure that you're going to the link that you're seeing on screen. Now, as you can see, Not Evil has loaded for us. Now, this is another search engine, but this time, unlike DuckDuckGo, this search engine does not offer a ClearNet address. It only offers an Onion service address. Also, it can only search the Tor hidden network, so it can only search for Onion services. Now, as you can see, there are no ads on the page. There is no tracking with this search engine. And in my experience, I get pretty accurate results with it. So let's say we want to search for a vulnerability. As you can see, again, very simple. You get all the websites that might contain interesting stuff for you. You can click on them or copy paste the link if you wanted to, and then you'll get to the website that you're looking for. Now, I should also mention that this search engine used to be called Tor Search. And like I said, to be honest, this has to be my favorite search engine. Now, the next one that I want to show you is called Torch, which is short for Tor Search Engine. Now, you can just look for it here. So we can type Torch search engine. So these are websites that will actually contain links linking to the search engine, or I actually have the link right here. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. And again, very similar to the other search engines that I showed you. All you have to do is type the thing that you're looking for in here. Again, let's look for vulnerability. And you'll get your results right here. Now, what I don't like about the search engine, as you saw in the homepage, there are a number of ads for other Tor hidden services, and a lot of them are scam. They also slow down the browser and slow down the whole computer if you don't have a lot of resources. That's why it's not my favorite, but it's a very, very popular search engine. That's why I'm covering it here. The next search engine that I want to show you, and the last one, is called Amya. So again, we're going to copy its link and paste it here. Now again, similar to the others, this will only search for Onion services. Very simple and easy to use. As an example, I'm going to look for vulnerability. And I misspelled it. As you can see, it's nice. It's correcting it for me. And again, we're getting the results that's relevant to what I searched for. Now, as you can see, this one does not have ads similar to Torch, but the quality of the results that you get here are not as good as Not Evil. So like I said, Not Evil has to be my favorite in the three that I showed you so far. Now keep in mind, the links that we're using, the Tor or the Onion links that we're using right here, could change from time to time. So these links that I'm using right now might fail at the time that you're watching this video. That's why it's always a good idea if the link doesn't work, to search for the website name. For example, if you're trying to go to Not Evil, go on DuckDuckGo or one of the other search engines and look for Not Evil search engine. Similar to the others, if you're looking for Torch and it's down, then look for it on DuckDuckGo or Not Evil, and then you can go from there. Not only that, but even searching on DuckDuckGo, you'll actually see a lot of ClearNet websites, so normal websites that we use every day, listing links for other DeepNet or Onion services. So if you search for Torch search engine, for example, on DuckDuckGo, you'll get a lot of results of normal websites giving you valid links to Onion services. Now that's the easiest way of discovering Onion hidden services, using search engines. And in the next lecture, I'm going to show you more methods or more ways of discovering hidden services. Okay, so now that we had a look on the most popular search engines on the darknet, or that we can use to discover hidden services, in this lecture, I want to show you more ways to discover hidden services or Onion services, and we'll do this using websites that link us to other websites or to other services. Now, like I said, there are a number of ClearNet websites that will link you to hidden services. All you have to do is just look for them in DuckDuckGo or even in Google. A very popular website that will list a number of links is the Hidden Wiki. You can look for it on any search engine. I have the link for it right here, so I'm just going to copy and paste it here. Now, the Hidden Wiki will contain a lot of broken links and a lot of scam. So you want to be very careful when you're clicking on links here. I'm showing it here to you for the sake of completion because you might find some useful links in here. And if you're a security researcher, you really need to know what the Hidden Wiki is, even know about the scammy websites in here because you might want to do research on them or you might want to investigate them. Using this is very simple. You can see categories. Each category contains websites that fall under this category. You can copy and paste the links to access them. It's as simple as that. A better website with more valid links would be dark.fail. So the dark.fail is a ClearNet domain that you can access on any browser. Or if you're on the Tor browser, you can access the hidden service for this website. So again, copy pasting it in here in my Tor browser. This will load a website similar to the Hidden Wiki. So it contains a number of links to popular hidden services. And these links are PGP verified, so it's less likely to be scam. And it's all valid links, so you can see the grayed out ones. These are links that are offline. So for example, if you try to access this link right here, it won't work. Everything else, it should work. So this is different to what's in the hidden wiki. You'll notice this if you test it yourself. You'll see a lot of the links that you click in the hidden wiki will not actually work. Another place where you can get hidden services is the DeepNet or the Deep Web subreddit. So this is actually a subreddit on the ClearNet Reddit. So again, you can access it using a normal browser or using the Tor browser. Obviously, it's better to access it using the Tor browser because you'll be more anonymous. And in here, you'll see all sorts of topics about the deep web. So you'll see people discussing anonymity, people discussing new services, new vulnerabilities, and so on. So if you're a Reddit user, or even if you're not a Reddit user, but you want to use the DeepNet frequently, then this is a really good subreddit to stay updated with. And like I said, it'll also contain a number of good entry points. So you'll see if there is any new websites, if there is any new deep web search engines, and so on. Another useful subreddit similar to deep web is Onions. So again, reddit.com/r/onions. Again, in here you'll find links to hidden services, to Onion websites, and updates and news about vulnerabilities and about what's new in the darknet. On top of this, a really good place to get links would be forums or people that you start knowing, you start contacting, or you start talking to through messaging apps or through emails. And we'll talk about how to use messaging apps and emails later on in the course. Now, I also want to mention two other websites that I think could be useful, and I don't want to spend a full lecture on them in the future. The first one is Dread, which is a Reddit for the DeepNet. So I'm just going to copy paste its link. Now, like I said, keep in mind, if any of these links don't work, just use one of the search engines that I showed you in the previous lecture to search for the website name. So if you paste this link in here and it doesn't work, all you have to do is just look for Dread, Onion link, or Onion service in one of the search engines that I showed you in the previous lecture, and you should be able to find its link. So as you can see, this is a website that has a very similar style to Reddit. You have a number of subreddits in here, or subthreads, and in it you can post or you can upvote, downvote. So the usage of this website is very, very similar to Reddit. The only thing is you can discuss DeepNet or Onion services related topics in here. Last but not least, I also want to show you Hidden Answers. Now this is similar to Quora or other websites where you can ask a question and get an answer to. Again, the only difference in here, first of all, it's more private, it's more anonymous, and you can ask questions related to Onion services or to the deep web. So that's it for this lecture. Just wanted to cover more entry points that you can use to discover other Onion services or DeepNet websites. Like I said, the main thing to keep in mind is the links for these websites could change, and you might try something that I used here and it wouldn't work for you. If it doesn't, just look for the website name. Forget about the URL. Look for the website name. For example, if you're looking for Hidden Answers, look for Hidden Answers in DuckDuckGo or in any other search engine that I covered in the previous lecture. And from there, you should be able to find a valid link for this particular hidden service. Sometimes you could find a direct link, so a direct Onion link, or in other cases, you might find a ClearNet website or another DeepNet website that'll link you to this. So the steps are simple. Look for the website name in a search engine. From there, you'll either find a direct link or another website that'll link you to this hidden service.